Okay, in this video, we'll talk about the packages that we will use within our LaTeX so that we can write our mathematical fonts and different things that we may use. Okay, so the additional packages that we should incorporate into our document are going to be the packages dealing with different font styles and whatnot. And that'll be American Mathematical Society Math Package, AMS Math, American Mathematical Society Theorem Package, THM, the fonts package, the symbolic package, right? These different um, packages, AMS Math, AMS THM, AMS Fonts, AMS Symbols, AMS CD, Math Tools, and NCC Math. All right, so that'll allow you to do a few more things mathematically. And then we also want to use the package geometry, which will help us specify our page margins. So for our purposes, we're going to need a top margin of 1 inch, a bottom margin of 1 inch for our paper, a left margin of 1 inch, and a right margin of 1 inch. Right. So now we're going to be specifying the paper to take on those margins. So when we recompile, notice what happens to our document. So now we have a little bit more to our layout in terms of how our information is going to look. And notice that this image, right, was set to be the line width, and because our line width has increased, now that image has increased. So that correct Capricorn procedure for the line width, we may want to specify a specific height for this image or a specific width, right? So we might say that our height for this image, we want to be 3 inches, so 3 IN. And when we recompile, now this image will have a 3-inch height. And if we think that is good for us to see, then fantastic, okay? In terms of spacing between lines and paragraph spacings, don't worry too much about that right now. The only thing is if you would like a more spacing between one paragraph and the next paragraph, one thing that you can do is to come in and use the backslash for a line break and then specify how big a line break you want to have. So I can say, I want a line break with 1M, the size of an M in between, right? So it creates a larger line break. Or I could say, let me come over here and do a 0-point line break, and it's going to give me a line break where it would be just essentially a skipped line. There will be things that we can do to adjust um, our spacing between paragraphs, but we'll leave that for another time. But for right now, I want to make sure that you can adjust the margins to be 1-inch margins. And so there we have our 1-inch margins to be able to work. So make sure that the use package for the geometry, which allows you to control the margins, and the use package to have mathematical fonts that you use, right? And essentially, we'll build up these packages based on what we are trying to implement within our LaTeX document. But otherwise, that's it. If I wanted my top space to be 2 inches to have more space at the top, change that to 2 inches, and notice that now I'll just have more space at the top. But our standard is 1-inch margins, top, bottom, left, and right will be our standard. Later on, we'll discuss how we can adjust those if we need. Notice that we do have page numbering at the bottom, which is great for us. We'll discuss how we can adjust that in other videos. Okay, so Thank you very much for your time.